So there's a video, put the link in the description. Often on this channel, especially lately, you've seen me speak out against the Quran, against the massacre of Christians by Muslims, Muslim lands, the historical slaughter of Christians in basically all of the holy places except for Rome being conquered and basically purged of Christians by the Muslims. And the contrast between Jesus and Muhammad and the Quran and the New Testament. But there's a channel I'm subscribed to. It's called White Christian Males. And then now it turned to Real WCM. And I shouldn't have to say this, that I don't want to. If I'm subscribed to a channel, it doesn't mean I believe in everything they say, obviously. But there was some of the stuff when around the time Trump, when the election was going on, I thought was pretty funny. I thought he did pretty ballsy stuff. But John Kerry, who I dislike, there was a video about him done by Micah, also known as Jolly Rancher. And he says that John Kerry said Israel can either be Jewish state or a democratic one, and that this was terrible that John Kerry said it. You know who popularized that? Micah, Kahane, the founder of the Koch Party, one of the most famous politicians in Israeli history. Extremely aggressive, founder of the JDL, which became a terrorist group, really. Actually, it is labeled as a terrorist group. Now, I speak out, I despise Sunni Islam, but I still wear this because I support the Palestinian people. Israel, yeah, because one, they're going to outbreed, the Palestinians would outbreed the Jews. But the problem of, I mean, here's some dates: 1922, 1946, 1947, 1967, 1970, and then the First Intifada and Second Intifada. Just Google expansion of this modern state of Israel and look at the images. You talk about losing land or giving up land. They're constantly. Who's giving? What was his name? His brother was killed in the raid in Entebbe. Well, the severe right wing prime minister, president of Israel, right? His brother. It's weird. His brother was killed in the raid in Entebbe, the only Israeli to be killed to get those people back from Uganda. And I can't remember his name. It's right on the tip of my tongue. Ben something. Oh God. He actually got the settlers to get out because the settlers would move in, actually stone children, the Jewish settlers, and just violently take over land. And there's a lot of bombs planted by these fanatical Israeli Jews. Israel started out as a communist state to de-Judify the Yid and make him a true only national Jew and erase the religion. Which, whatever you think of that, fine. Is these communist not Qanim. I'm losing my mind now. I'm gonna watch. I'll sort them out all at the end. But it has increased and increased in size and kept. I mean, it kept provoking wars. Look at USS Liberty. Did you read the book The Holocaust Industry? It was written by a Jewish guy who's His parents are the only two members of their families that survived Auschwitz. Yeah, the population of Christians was 20% in Palestine in 1922, and I think it was, I believe it was the same in 1946. Today it's 2%. It was the Israeli government that built a wall around the Church of the Nativity, and every single Christian leader in Israel or Palestine, everyone, not ones that moved there from another country, the indigenous ones, Christians, talk about the horrors of what Israel is doing. You have to separate Gaza from the West Bank. Those are two different things, two different societies. Basically, they're isolated. But the amount of the settlers go in and take the land, and the government of Israel will defend the settlers automatically, even though they're continually attacking the Palestinians. Now, you say, well, there's going to be war. What about like Ireland when they fought for their independence from colonial rule? Now, the situation's not the same as South Africa or or Rhodesia. It's more like Ireland. Yeah, there's going to be war as long as you occupy a land that you're trying to actively destroy their culture, language, identity, and commit ethnic cleansing. Now, I believe in nationalism, so I don't like ethnic cleansing. I believe everybody has a right to live in their own homelands, according to their own way of life, practicing their religion and speaking their own language. How can you say you're not a globalist or an imperialist before the state of Israel? The modern state of Israel has no connection with ancient Israel. It's not a Jewish idea. If you look in Judaism, the Jews are not allowed to have govern a state of themselves until the Messiah comes back. It's considered an apostasy. It's actually against rabbinic Judaism. They're not allowed to have land. So who's the one that you think is losing this land? And what Kerry said was something that Kahane was famous for saying, and that all the right-wing Jews say. Because, and you even said in your video, if Israel is a Jewish state, Christians and Muslims and even the Druze are not equal there, not even the Baha'i. It's first and foremost a Jewish state before it's a democracy. It's never been it's been a democracy among the Jews, but it's never been freedom. And it's apartheid. No, it's far worse than that. It's like how Ireland was during the Troubles, where the B specials and gangs of Ulster Protestant thugs would come into Irish Catholic neighborhoods and just kill and bomb and rape and raid until the people, and the communist IRA wouldn't do anything, so the people actually had to rise up and fight back and form the provisionals. I may despise Sunni Islam, but the Sunni Muslims who are innocent, who are just being murdered by theocratic thugs, I despise. And I also despise the Israelis that destroy churches and actively kill Christians. And what drove the Christians out of the area was the creation of the modern state of Israel, because they created all these jobs with all these industry and totally destroyed all these ancient buildings, ancient churches, and tried to modernize everything. And it brought in people all over the Arab world. Lebanon was mostly Christian. Syria had like 30% Christian population. I mean, it totally screwed everything up. To say that there's no indigenous Palestinian people, the Church of Holy Sepulchre, the Church of the Nativity, those have been around long before the creation of Israel. I mean, we're talking about the 4th century. There have been Palestinian Christians living there forever. Hell, the Sea of Jerusalem is one of the 5 ancient seas. So, and who are these Jews? They're not even descended from the original Jews that were expelled. They were converts from Europe. Most of them aren't Sephardic. So, again, get your facts straight. Peace to you.